Hello, dear job seekers, dear educators who are all there today, and welcome to this webinar, which says that resume framing is very important. The title here being how to write your resume, that is, a resume to recruitment, how to strategically land your dream teaching job in 2025. We would want to have a dream teaching job in 2025 and wait for my next webinar, wherein I would like to tell you about the lesson planning structure and how we are going to plan that lesson plan in the next session. You please be there. But for this session, once again, we would like to focus our attention on how to prepare a robust resume. Therefore, the topic today is how to write a resume and resume to recruitment, how to strategically land your dream teaching job here. Still, some of you must be applying for job position. There must have been a shuffling here and there, but I recommend to use this for the next academic year as to how you do it. Therefore, it is beneficial for the freshers who are making up their mind to join this webinar and who already are there. Hello to all the freshers today who have made up their mind to work as a teacher. Teaching is a noblest profession. Hi, I am Dr. Padmavati Tumbaturthi from TeachConnect. I am a quality education specialist. I train teachers and mentor principals. This is how I have this idea of putting up the importance of resume and how a resume must be crafted to all the job seekers. All the job seekers, please pay attention. This resume has to be focused to overarch the needs of the schools, and the HR has to pick up your resume, and the resume has a journey until it reaches the principal or the recruitment team. Therefore, building up a resume is a very strategic thing, and you are here because you are believing that a job, just a job, it's a calling. Most of us have learned how to do inclusive education earlier, and now we all have to mandatorily wake up call for you as to how to structure anything. Maybe from this webinar, you will get an idea as to how to structure your lesson plan, what are the methods you can have in structuring the lesson plan. That too is of very their resume to the HR, how they are showing their skills, and the A4 sheet wherein you have a written hard copy, or if it's a soft copy, that space is what brings you your paycheck. That space which is there, which is provided, what you are giving to the HR or what you are submitting in the office or what you are posting it online, that space will should give you a good paycheck. How is that space going to give you of going or visiting or posting our resume online, we need to make an impact on it. How are we going to make an impact? And schools, they don't want content deliverers. Content deliverers are always there. Content is available everywhere. They need skills. Are you aware of the experiential learning? That's how we do, by hands-on whatever we are doing. And whatever experience you are giving to the children, are the children able to absorb the content, and is it a differentiated instruction? Every time when we are talking to the children, it should not be like a chalk and talk method. How are we going to use that VARK method, the visual, auditory, reading, writing, and the kinesthetic method? And it's also inquiry based and constructivist method. Inquiry based is we pose a question and the child will understand the question and the child will try to follow what we are talking, and there is another question coming up. And it is also a constructivist method. When one question gives an answer, we are building up another question on the answer given. This is what is constructivist learning. When we are talking about inquiry based learning, it's the question which is probing to another question. There is slight difference between inquiry based learning and the constructivist method of learning. And how are the socio-emotional learning frameworks being mentioned? These things are to be mentioned. How are you going to create those activities for peer-peer learning, collaborative learning, cooperative learning? Are we going to use these strategies? Do we know these strategies? Dear educator, dear job seekers, if you all don't know these, please watch my videos which are there. It is at the snap of a finger. You can find and search the videos for TeachConnect #teachers, a YouTube handle. Then you will definitely come across one after that. There is no hurry. Do one after the other videos. Try to write down, make some notes, and reflect on whatever you have absorbed and whatever you have reflected upon. And then you can send a direct message to me. My staff is always available. Therefore, the staff will try to assist you, or they will, I think you can directly connect me too. If at all you feel that you need to talk to me, I am always available. Therefore, and if at all you are having these mentioned activities like experiential learning, differentiated instruction, inquiry based and constructivist method, socio-emotional learning framework, how are you going to connect yourself with the student? First, it starts with self-awareness. Are we aware of whatever we are doing? Are we aware of what are the emotions which we are undergoing today? Then how are we going to connect it to the emotions of the students? This is a very interesting thing what we need to maintain. We need to know about our emotions when a student poses a question to us, because sometimes we might feel that the student is not posing a right question, but no, we need to know that the question need to be posed, and every question what comes to the mind of the student, that is important for him. How are we going to proactively address that? That's important. And by the way, I'm going into the mode of teaching, and we are just sticking on to the module of lesson planning, we are sticking on to the model of how to write a better resume. Therefore, but how will the recruiter know the teacher's impact on learning? Therefore, first of all, there are a few steps. There are 5 important steps. The first step is jot down all the records, whatever you have. Do you have a digital portfolio? Do you have any achievements? Do you have any testimonial? Do you have any records? Anything where WhatsApp, videos, testimonials, anything like that, whatever you have. Are you able to try and work out? Bring in all those documents and put at one place. The first and primary requisite is to gather all the documents, wherein you must have done so much of work. Even as a student and as a fresher, you must have done so much of work with your project work, with your co-teachers, co-team, team teaching must have happened. Then how have you collaborated with others? Those things work here also. When you are working on team teaching, when you are working on the concepts at college level as a fresher, those concepts also will come into picture over here. That's important for you to know that these concepts work there. Okay, that's how. Then we also have the second part of it, like how to structure your resume. How are you going to structure it? You're going to structure it, you have to build a resume. First point is you have gathered all the information, the workshops, the student outcomes, what is that rise in percentage of passing, because we are not interested in the highest mark anymore. We are interested whether there is everybody who has improved in the classroom. We are not talking about everybody passing either. Everybody who has improved in the classroom. Do we have a record of it? As a job seeker, please try to note down all such records. And the next point is structuring your resume. Build a resume wherein you can have that strategy, the values. What are the values? Take up 3 values, maximum 5 values, and put down. Don't cross them, because Swami Vivekananda said 5 values, if you are making your values your life, that's more than enough for any person to lead a life. Like he said that, Swami Vivekananda said that those 5 values, say compassion, honesty, collaboration, mutual respect, and learning. If you are having these 5, learning is a value too. That's the value which you are giving for something, acquiring knowledge. When you are giving that value to learning, or you are making it, what are the books you have read? What is that collaboration you have modeled? What is that you are believing is what your value? Your value is what you are learning for yourself. Values is what you are giving importance for something. When you are giving an importance to any particular aspect, it is called values. When you are learning something, it is called value. When it is owning up, it is called a value which you have taken up. That's an emotion behind values. If you do not feel that value, you will never learn it. Therefore, what are the values? How did you structure them? Next is apply. What is that you are applying? Don't apply randomly. Don't go to any school and give your resume. That should be a target based. As I have told you earlier, you need a particular culture, your vision, a mission, your fit, how you can fit into that culture. You need to assess. Just don't give your resume, go and give it randomly in any one of the schools. That's not the way we apply for a job, because you will not be able to do justice to that school wherein you have killed your conscience and you have started working there. Even the principals do not like such candidates who work halfway and who do not give their full potential. Wherever you are, excellence should be your criteria. That's how we apply for the job and present it. The 4th point is presentation. Prepare for interviews with the same clarity you bring to a lesson. What is the clarity you have? If your lesson plan is written, a lesson plan is written with certain clarity. What is the clarity you have for your lesson plan? So much of clarity you need to have for your interview resume. First is resume. The resume also needs the clarity. The interview also needs the clarity. What is the clarity? Why am I writing this particular statement in the resume? This is what you have to think through. You need to think on this. Therefore, when we reflect and grow, that's the last statement, that's the 5th step. You need to track your application after you are dropping the application online, or please do drop it on TeachConnect.in, www.teachconnect.in, wherein we help job seekers to match your resumes, provided your resume is a structured one, provided you have a clarity in whatever work you are going to do, you have presented your duties as skills. Your resume can be structured, and then you will get a job immediately when you post it on the website. It will be a very hard job, and every principal would love to have a teacher who can give a 100% commitment to the organization. It's not too much on their part to ask it also. It is their job. It's a principal's job and demand to see that they get a better candidate every time. Therefore, how are you going to build that strategic resume? Now let us see that we talk about your resume. Now what is a resume? It is a compilation of your experience, your values, your summary, your pedagogical portfolio. It is there on the paper. These are again 5 things which you should find. The first 5 things what you are supposed to do: gather, structure, apply, present, reflect and grow, is about what you are going to collect it. But now another 5 things are there wherein you are going to talk about profile summary. Every part of this, there is a separate video on YouTube. You can just watch those videos. I have given a detail on how a professional summary has to be written, wherein the excitement needs to be brought up. You need to have an excitement as a first component. You need to show what kind of passion you have derived and how you are going to help the school. You are going to help the school. That's how you get a job. You are not going to help the school and nobody would like to hire you. You need to help the school. How are you going to help the school? For that, you need to do certain homework about the school. You got to know about the school. Nowadays, every school, almost all the schools have a website. You can go to the website, check all the website, check what are the components there. Is the school oriented on hands-on, or it on toy-based pedagogy, or lab induction, or whatever it is. What is that the school is asking for, or it is completely skill-based education. You got to know about the school also. We cannot give a random resume anywhere. Giving a resume in a very structured way which suits you, it is something like a science and art. It is not a gamble where you go get a job and you feel very happy about the job which you have got. No, it's not like that. You need to have a presentation, right? Now then, when you have a profile summary, it should state also like which board you want to cater to, whether you want to teach CBSE or whether you want to go to an IB or IGCSE, whatever it is, it's up to you. Any resume, these strategies will work. Take it from me. And how are your achievements linked to pedagogy? How do you use experiential learning? What kind of method of experiential learning have you used to improve the students' statistics in a particular academic year? You need to mention 20% of the students have deepened the learning to understand the competency-based questions and write an answer for these questions. Simply understand doesn't work. The stability of learning comes only when the student reproduces the answer. It is designed, and next you can also write it is designed flipped classroom modules for grade 9 social studies. What module did you talk about World War I? Did the children understand what is flipped class? When you are writing about this statement, you are telling the interviewer that you also know about experiential learning, you also know about the flipped classroom. Every time the interviewer cannot ask you like, do you know about flipped classroom, do you know about experiential learning? It's the duty of the job seeker to tell what you want to do. Therefore, that's how Bloom's taxonomy verbs are also there. The third part is Bloom's taxonomy verbs. Now you all know that you all know, or I'm assuming that you know, or you are supposed to know about Bloom's taxonomy for sure. That is, remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, create. If you want, I'll make another video on this also, Bloom's taxonomy. If anyone requests it, I will definitely make a video on Bloom's taxonomy. Wherein you start your verbs from remember, understand. What are the things which you have picked up and what is that you have used in your resume? Bloom's taxonomy verbs must appear in the resume. That's a mandate, because how does a job seeker present oneself to the interviewer about what he or she knows about it. Therefore, Bloom's taxonomy verbs are a must, and then different teaching strategies, like are you functioning again on, don't write too many of strategies, mention only 3 strategies, that should be more than enough. Are you working on Socratic seminars? Are you believing on project based learning, whether it is a normal project based learning or it is a research oriented project based learning? Do not just give something like project based learning is not about a chart paper and a few collage papers on it, take a paper cutting. No, there should be a real world complex problem being solved. That is what are the children doing about the plastic in the area thrown around the school? How are they going to clean their own school and make it a no plastic zone, no smoking zone? Or how is that, what are the steps they have taken to conserve electricity, water, preserve it? What's the sustainability measure they have taken? These things need to be mentioned. Otherwise, in this NEP 2020 Zamana, it is important for the teacher to prove that she knows these things, at least know. Later on, professional development comes into picture, but you need to show the interviewer that you know these strategies. Now then, when you talk about the problems, that is Socratic seminars, how the children are going to discuss and pose a broader question which will lead to a discussion. A question leading to a discussion is what we call a Socratic seminar. Earlier we have spoken about the question in one angle, that is inquiry based learning. Another angle, what we called as constructive based learning. Now we are also talking about peer tutoring or a reflective journaling, wherein you want children to write down at least 2 statements. They start with 2 statements writing, they will improve it later on. Did you use this strategy? Then when you have not planned to use these strategies, your resume becomes weak and it doesn't suit the resumes of better teachers. If you have to win that paycheck, it's important that you work on this. Therefore, all these kind need an evidence that you can put it in the portfolio, wherein I recommend Google Sites for you to prepare that portfolio and give a link to the interviewer. So it's easy for you to prepare that evidence-based structure. Therefore, you have to give evidences. When I say that they have increased 25% in science, or I have modeled my classroom for the World War I, then what is the guarantee that you have done it? What's the evidence which you are creating that? You have to show. That's how you need to show that you are a passionate teacher. I am a passionate teacher is something where everybody says. How are you going to integrate that NEP 2020 aligned experiential module? We need to mention that I am a passionate teacher is something, it's a common word which we use. But when you are integrating NEP 2020 aligned experiential learning, toy-based pedagogy, story-based pedagogy, sports-based pedagogy, art integration pedagogy into your lesson plan, that shows that you are very much ready in order to incorporate the 21st century skills into your resume. So this is also something like a volume which speaks. A resume should show your personality. That's how you need to have an exclusive ready-made resume for the HR to pick up. For this, TeachConnect has a beautiful plan of helping you out. You can visit www.teachconnect.in, and therein we can present, there is a ready-made resume enhancing feature also on the website. You can do that. How are we going to do it? Now we will ask a PDF from you all, or you yourself can upload, and you can upload on the website. Open the tab, and on that click on it, you post your resume, and immediately within seconds a structured resume comes, provided you give the right content to the resume enhancer. Resume enhancer creates a professional summary based on whatever you have given the details to it. If you have a normal PDF document, that's the best thing you can do. You can just drop that resume. An unstructured resume, if you drop also, TeachConnect Resume Enhancer will give you a structured resume. It's a wonderful thing. It's a very best feature which is close to my heart, which I have created there. Therefore, you upload your data, but without writing the data, it is not possible for even ATS, that is automatic tracking system, also to give you this profile of yours. Therefore, whenever you have teaching strategies, if you have mentioned, automatically the PDF will give you, the structured resume will give you. If you do not mention any pedagogies in it, how will the resume enhancer know about you? Therefore, please do mention in detail. Then you, anyhow, even if you give a detail to resume enhancer, it will automatically give a structured resume. Therefore, this is quite an ATS friendly, wherein you might get 3 times more resume interview calls for this. Otherwise, if you do not want to use this, you can use my authored book, how to write a resume to get that interview call. This is a wonderful book wherein I have taken good effort to compile so much of resume plugged in points wherein you can pick up those statements and write a resume. That's also a good thing. I will type in the chat box as to what is that link wherein you have to go and you have to find out. Therefore, it will be a very interesting thing for you all to know that there are tools coming up, and teachers also need to be tech savvy, because teachers have to be tech savvy because they need to work on so much of learning management systems, so much of data they have to maintain. Then they need to have a technology knowledge. They need not be very much extraordinary, but they need to have this much of knowledge. Now, when you have prepared such a structured resume, how is that you are going to apply with strategy? Now, TeachConnect is not just a resume builder. You just post it. Job seekers, this is a thing which I have to mention. It is free for the job seekers. You just go register there and you post your resumes, and then you will find that there will be recruiters wherein we are not going to charge from the job seekers. It's free for the job seekers. The recruiters will come and pick up your resume. Make it presentable. Take our help. No need to struggle. One place, if you can post your resume, then there are filters. You have to update the area where you are where you want to work, where you are willing to work, so that the location wise, there are so many schools around. Therefore, there is no need of juggling here and there. It is so easy these days. There is no need of juggling here and there. You need to apply in which particular area you have to work. Now that will give you a beautiful structured resume. Just post it in the registration box. It is so easy. It doesn't take much time. Then you will get the resume structured, visible all over the area, specifically for filtered. If they apply filter, your resume will appear. If they do not apply filter, it will be appearing along with so many other resumes. Anyway, your resume will be visible to everybody. Now, instead of going to every school and knocking the door, waiting at that place, again you call, again you go there, leave your children there at home and worry about your children. We are lifting off all your pain. Just post your resume and you will get interview calls, provided it's a structured resume. We cannot guarantee anything, but if it's a structured resume, you will have that beauty of presentation. It's something, it's a joy. It's a joy to use that tool too. Just try once. Therefore, when you are when you can also on our website, you can see who has viewed your resume. You have a dashboard also. Therein you know how many people have applied for their new job posting. Now, what is that you have, what is a job vacancy which is visible to you? And we also have our staff, if at all you are not that tech savvy, then I will definitely help you. My staff will approach you. If at all you direct message them, they will approach you and they will help you. Therefore, you read blogs like top 5 questions for interview, which are there on the website. What are the 50 FAQs which you should know? Or interview questions. These are all blogs which are written widely on TeachConnect. And what are the AI tools which you are supposed to know? And make sure that your resume speaks for you. It should be a pedagogical transition and the transformation of knowledge of yours. Therefore, it is not just a job title, teacher, coordinator, HOD, or a pre-primary teacher. It's not just a job title. It is something where you are going to get money paid for your knowledge. For that, there is a little effort which needs to be taken up. Therefore, if at all you feel that if you want any questions and how am I teaching, first 25 people who give us information about their resume, and first 25 people who approach us will be doing a review for the job seeker resume which they give me. I personally will check the resume for the first 25, not more than that. I will check the resume, and any suggestion which I have to make, I will make to you. There is an effort required. Everything needs an effort. Everything needs time. You will not get anything without investing your time. You invest money, that's a different thing, but you should invest time also. But one bonus tip which I would want to give is, what about the recent trends of education? You have to browse them. You must be aware of them. You need to be aware of the political, you need to be aware of the social trends which are there. You need to be aware of what are the changes in the scholastic area. How is the technology improving? How are you able to incorporate AI in your teaching and learning system? You need to be aware of this. You must try on tools like Kahoot app, like Padlet. You need to try. It's not that you try overnight. You have to try and try and try and manage and do a good thing. You need to do an excellent job. You should have that pursuit of excellence. You need to have that thirst for being excellent. You cannot sit in the same place and feel wonderful that we are doing a good job. I know that you're all working very hard in order to write a resume, but when there are ready-made tools available, why wait for something? Therefore, if you have a question that do I need a portfolio? Yes. How do you know that you can write a very good lesson plan? How are you going to communicate it to the HR? You need to have a portfolio on Google Sites, and you need to give the link. You need to give the testimonials also on the portfolio. What are the learning outcomes which have fetched a lot? How much do you know about learning outcome? And what are the classroom photographs? How are you having a connectivity with the student? What are the events which you have conducted? After the webinar, please contact us. The first 25 will, however, get a resume review. Register at TeachConnect and see that you use the resume enhancer and you check who has posted jobs there, and you can quick apply to those jobs also. Now, this is wonderful that you have chosen how to be a teacher, how to write a resume. Now, what is the reflection you have in your mind? If you can put on the chat box, I will be very happy. Because what is that help you require? You should first know that I need help. This is what you got to voice out. If you want any help from your side, you want it from our side to you, please contact us by direct messaging. We will definitely approach you. Therefore, you can message us at TeachConnect 2020 Insta handle and also on YouTube you can, I think I will give the telephone number also. You can directly message us. Therefore, you can, it's in the chat box. You can message us. Therefore, you will be having that joy of making a resume wonderfully. You need to have an emotion behind the resume. You cannot say that the resume is something, a paper I have put in 4 or 5 achievements, I am going to get a good job. You will never get that way. If you want to cross a particular level, you need to do it with great effort. No success is a straight line. And hi, I am Dr. Padmavati Tungaturti. I don't see any questions in the chat box. If at all I have answered one or two, my staff will answer further. Therefore, if at all you are happy with this webinar, leave a comment. And what's my next webinar to be? What do you like my next webinar? I have just planned for a lesson plan as a webinar, but if at all you feel that you need something different, please let me know. I will be more than happy to conduct that webinar for you all for free. Thank you so much. Thanks for being there. And please